What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more of The Cure, and we're here to start the next album and chapter in the larger journey. Once again, big thank you to Phil. And the next album is Wish, 1992, and the opening track is Open, which makes me wonder if this is functioning on multiple levels, the idea of opening the album, but also as a descriptive characteristic. And of course, the state of being open is to not be closed, not be sealed off, not be separated from or buffered from the external, and thus able to be accessed or entered. I do wonder if there is maybe a physical or visual description, but I would more likely incline to think of it as an emotional attribute or characteristic or state of being, not that that's necessarily something which is permanent or constant, but at least at a given moment in the time, or a given moment in time, being open as in to be receptive, as to be open to a possibility. So yeah, let's see what I can pick up on a first listen. This is The Cure, the track is Open, and it's the first song on their 1992 album, Wish.
So take it anymore. This it I've become. This is it like I get. And my life's coming on. I just keep moving my mouth. I just keep moving my feet. I say I'm loving you to death. I'm losing my breath. And all the smiles that I wear. And all the games that I play. And all the drinks that I mix. And I jinx and I sing. And all the faces I make. And all the shapes that I throw. And all the things that I make. And all the ones that I know. Makes me sick to the heart. I feel so tired. And the rain comes down hard. That's how I feel inside. The rain comes down hard. That's how I feel inside.
Wow. An awesome opener. I love that. Now, people mentioned, there were a couple folks mentioned, like, after we listened to Never Enough, that this becomes a sort of shift to a more guitar or, like, rock sounding style. To be fair, I mean, rock in one form or another has been there since the beginning. Post-punk energy, a bit of a rawness, and then there's tracks like throughout the 80s that had a very like synth rock flavor to them, even if some others had a more like overtly synth pop sound. But yeah, this feels like different. I don't know if I would, alternative rock is a phrase I use. This isn't quite the kind of track that I would apply it to, but it does feel a bit more alternative in its rock stylings relative to the rock sounding tunes that we've heard previously. So yeah, I mean, it wasn't quite as like heavy guitar focused as Never Enough, but it definitely was like a rock centric tune. And yet, at the heart of it is Robert's lyrics and vocals again. Like, he's such a talented songwriter, and in ways that, like, I've mentioned this in multiple reactions, including, like, recently, but it's, like, often so, like, vulnerable, but, like, insightful and fearless, like, all at the same time. And so here, I mean, it sounds like a night sort of out of control and like maybe inebriated. I was thinking maybe he's like drinking, but it's like it's representative of these larger and longer term forces that he's feeling, and by the end he's kind of like cathartically letting it all out, and it's a lot of it's negative and pessimistic, and saying that the rain coming down, that's how he feels inside. And there's like another line before that like, I don't know if it was like a shadow, but it was like his heart, like it just isn't there. It's this negative feeling, and he's like on his knees, which he's saying like it happens a lot, and he's got blood on his hands, and he's like cursing or shouting as he's falling to the floor. So he feels like very out of control, and this seems to be indicative of this dark spiral that he's on emotionally and mentally. But in a way, again, he's kind of letting it all out. So I don't know if that's the essence of open, that he's just, like an open book, or he's, sort of showing his dark internal feelings and psychology to anyone who cares to listen, anyone who happens to be around him. I mean, there was a line at the beginning, he's like, I don't even know what I'm doing here. And that could be like, in this bar, or in this club, or in this social setting. But it could also be like in life. It could also be in terms of like in his body, in his own skin. He doesn't even know, how to make it all work. So again, it feels very vulnerable, very depressive, and yet again like fearlessly honest all at the same time. And his vocals, again, starting a bit more subtle, still, kind of morose from the beginning, but by the end, there's like a lot of force behind the lines, and he's kind of singing in the way that he's talking about, like, shouting as he's falling to the ground, and, why is it like this? Why is it so dark? And he's just kind of letting it all out, and like vocally, it's exactly what the lyrics seem to be saying. So, yeah, a really compelling opener. Absolutely loved it, and I'm enjoying their evolution and their different flavors and styling. So again, I get it. For some folks, like certain songs, certain albums, certain types of songs of theirs might be more preferable than others. But yeah, I'm here for all of it. So very much enjoyed that opener. Let me know what you think, and I will see you next time. Peace.